doing automation, we just use robot as a part of a machine, which is the brain. Which is like a bones of the machine, which helps in to intake or whatever. But when all the robots, each single kind of robot is done, is coded, is built by a robotics engineer. The place where we buy the robot is actually specialized in robots, so they will have a lot of robotics engineers who are behind the scene, and then they work on building the robot and designing customer needs. So for us, the customer is the product who is giving us the product, but for them, the customer is us. So means they will think in a way that how are they going to satisfy our machine's requirement. So let's say a machine is going to be done, then the robot should be designed in a way so that it satisfies your machine's application. So that is where purely robotic engineers will go into. If you're completely looking only to controlling or designing or innovating in a robot, then you can go into the robotics industry, where robotics have a very big it's actually a very big an industry. It's majorly used in automation, which our company does, builds in automation and equipment manufacturing. So that is why I explain a bit less about the robots. But actually, the robotic engineering is a very vast type of industry. So I think when you're looking purely for robotics engineering, there's a lot of robots and industries outside. For example, if you're very curious about robots, you can also try to check on the sites of Epson and Skara. All these are robotics, leading robotic company in the world. So these are type of robots which are leading in innovation, and also the standard robotics and robots which we are using in our day-to-day industrial applications. I think you can note down, or later I could pass down the spelling. Actually, it's Epson, EPSON. It's a robotic company, and Skara is also a type of Exxon. And then there is another robot which is done by. So these are very major type of robot and robotics innovative and leading world companies in the world. You can also try to research on what are the types of robots you're interested in, and then I think you can get a lot of information from them. You just need to email. Nowadays, we are not. We just see that and then we apply on time, and then we see that I don't have a chance. You should not be like that. It's just that when we take initiative and send an email to the company, you will get a lot of responses when you're expecting something regarding their product, because they would think that you're going to buy from them. So obviously they will give all the details you require. So if let's say you need some details on the robots or whatever engineering appliances you need on the robotics industry, you just need to get the email ID of the company in which you're interested in, and then you can ask them whatever questions you need to know and what you need to require. Did I answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Could you please repeat the industry name? I didn't get it, sir. But due to slow connections, slow internet connection, could you please repeat those industry name, sir?
Okay. It is okay. Sorry. Okay. I thought. I'm sorry. I'm repeating. E for then S as in O as in orange, and N. It's Epson, and the other company is Yamaha. These are the two world-leading robotics company, and one of the main things, I think, from what I understand, you're more interested in robots.
So if you have any queries, kindly unmute yourself and ask your questions to our resource person.
Any other question?
Hello, good evening, sir.
Pros and cons of RP means
Yes.
robotic. Okay. Good question. Thanks. Thanks for joining. And okay.
Thank you.
RP robot pros and cons, I would say. As pro, as that it does a lot of work which humans cannot do, means accurate placement or movement of the robot placements or testing on different types of products. All these kind of things are as pros of the robot industry, because most of the times your human cannot do, and some more our human side, we need some rest, but the robot doesn't need. So it can usually go until a long time. It's like continuously run for months or years together, and it can give efficient product, and you can your production or your company or the future of the company will be growing, because you don't have a weak point, but I don't say it is as a weak point, because it has more advantages than disadvantages. The disadvantages, I would say, is in some time we won't have anything to do. I feel ashamed to say that. And second, I would say is when you're designing a robot, it is really a complicated way from start until end to set up the robot and teach the point. Many times during the setup, it is really very stressful to make sure that your algorithms is correct. When you're coding something and you're feeding into the robot, there are a lot of times you will see bugs or glitches inside the program. So these are even the actually robot coding is not very complicated in terms of coding, because it is actually done by C++ or Python only. The worst part comes when you're placing the robot in your application. You need to spend lots and lots of time, lots of sleepless nights to meet the schedule, and you need to make sure that the robot is working as so. At this point of time, again, your human side, we will not have much rest. So I would say these are the pros and cons of the RP industry currently. Did I answer your question?
Information. Yeah, thank you.
Any other question?
So any other question?
Respected sir, this is Vijay Krishnan here. Hello.
Yes. Please, sir.
Respected sir, this is Vijay Krishnan here.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Sir, can you hear me, sir?
Yes,
Able
sir.
to
I
hear
can.
me, sir?
I can hear. Please go.
Thanks for the session, sir. I have a query about.
Yes, I
is
can.
it advisable for you? Excuse me, sir. Is it advisable for you to study about automation industry in future? I'm a pre-college student and I will required to learn about higher studies. But is it advisable for you to learn about automation and other aspects?
Okay, I would. So you are in pre-college, means you are in schooling, is it?
So pre-final year.
Pre-final
So
year.
it is in third year.
Okay. So I just got confused by the word pre-college. Okay. So pre-final. Okay. All right. So means you're asking me a question that is I would say you're asking me that do we need to study automation separately for this year and the next year, is it? So that it could be helpful for you. Okay. I got your question. Okay. Good question. And I would say that when you're actually that is what I told from the start. And a single point, as you see, mechatronics engineering is really the backbone and the base of automation. Whatever you study, if you the basics, what we are applying in automation systems here. So I would say yes, if you're really curious and you're really I would say study more on automation, you don't need to study. That's what I say. There is difference between, I would say that, okay, if let's say I ask you a question from the previous year, I'm sure that you might not be able to answer any definition. Or I ask you a question from the schooling, you might not be able to answer. But I'm sure that you know to ride a cycle. Even after 10 years, you forget that, and then you take a cycle, you still can ride the cycle. This is the difference between studying and learning. Studying is something you will forget once you finish your exam or something, but learning, which is going to come through all your years. So it's something that you need to learn. And I would say that when you learn something, you need to time. So when you're trying to understand and learning on the mechatronics engineering, what you're studying actually is more than enough to come inside the automation industry. And I would sure guarantee you that you will be way higher than the other people who are in the automation industry, because you are actually understanding and learning by yourself. And I would say, if you're really curious, as I said, you can research and you can go through different types of advancements in the industry, and you can know what is the latest vision system, latest robots we are using. All those things you can still get and gather knowledge. But I would say your mechatronics engineering, all your subjects is more than enough to come inside the automation industry. Did I answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I'm sorry for my pronunciation. There is a network lag here,
It's
sir.
okay. No. Okay. I would also say if we don't make mistakes, we don't learn. It's okay. It's not. I would not consider as mistake. It is actually like I understand that it's okay from your pronunciation. It's just that if I had answered your question, I'm happy. That's all. No problem. No problem.
Yes, sir. I'm interested in studying mechatronics engineer, so I'm studying, sir. I'm going to
Wonderful.
complete my MS in abroad and like MS in mechatronics engineering, sir.
Wonderful. Okay,
Yes,
very good. Very good career path you have, and I would say when it comes to mechatronics, I would also suggest you can, if you're going to abroad, I'm just suggesting you it's come to take or not take. I'm just giving you my knowledge on what I see. The best way and the best place to study on automation or mechatronics engineering for MS, I would say, is Australia, or the second one is Canada. These are the two places where robots are actually, main thing is Canada, not, I mean, Austria is also a part, but main of the robots and all the automation, small and standard parts are made from is made from Canada and also the US. So these are the two main places where robotics is born. So I would say if you're going to do MS, you can do in either of the two places where you can get more exposure to the actual current advancement, and also you can fulfill your satisfaction to study on mechatronics engineering.
Thank you very much, sir. I'll be thank you to you, sir.
No problem. No problem. Happy to help.
So any other queries? So thank you, Mr. Ramanathan sir, for your marvelous speech with the continuous bombardments of your technical words through which our attendees may grasp and innovative ideas in our robotics and automation sector. Now I request Dr. N. Thiruvenkadam, Professor, Department of Mechatronics Engineering, to give a conclude note.
Yes, sir. Once again, thank you. I thank you, Mr. Ramanathan Namalai. It's a very wonderful presentation. We are here to know our students are very happy to learn the things, and I feel very proud that this session has moved very interactive way. So that is where I hope definitely our students are enhancing and sharing their views and questions and answers very clearly. So you are explained in your presentation lot of the contents like automation, mechanical and electric design, parts purchase, assembly and structure and wiring, input output checking, PLC system, dry run for customer requirements. So that is a new word we hearing. That is PLC system we are designing it in our laboratory, but trial run for customer we did not do. So this is a industrial. We can learn the thing from your session. We could learn then use of higher accuracy robots and the robots in point tech. Teach the robot need to do what to do, what time to do. So like this, we have to design the things. Then also you have discussed about the not damage the customer parts. That is also very important. Na? So that yeah, yes, sir. So vision setup, testing criteria, full sequence test. So a lot of things you have discussed in a very in detailed manner. And need of micro level testing before going for production. Need of micro level testing is very important. Na? So that part also you have discussed very elaborately. And robotics in automation, like basic principle to types and axis types. So basic principles, payloads and axis, design and calculations, and determining of axis 7 to 8 axis. Then normally we are using 6 axis. Then like purchase, installation, point tech applications. Then different types of robots like Scara, Delta, Cartesian. So that is where you are delivered very wonderful presentation. Then mechatronics scope. That is we understood very clearly, and your special slide you have prepared, and some of our students are yesterday and day before yesterday. Some of our students are asking regularly this question. So mechatronics engineering scope for there are a lot of domains are involved, no? So you are very clearly presented. So mechatronics engineering scope, like in mechanical designing, electrical designing, PLC programming, and HMI, human machine interface programming, test engineers, and product development engineers. Then and also you are explained very clear manner that KTM bike, cool and oil, how they can control with the timing setup. So and also clearly you tell that end with the mechatronics engineers are the backbone of automation. So we are very happy, and our students are energetic now. We feel some energetic thing like backbone of automation is mechatronics. So and also another thing where you are very clearly told, like marks and degrees are useful for only entry level, that is interview purpose only. It is also a degree is nothing but like paper nowadays. Only the people are expecting skills. Yeah, you particularly for survival, skills is like the difference between studying and learning. You are very clearly explained. So studying and learning, like cycling, yeah, practicing, swimming, cycling. So we cannot forget that particular swimming, cycling in throughout our life. Once we learned it, automatically with us only. So likewise, we have to learn our automation system, and we have to learn our robotic system as a mechatronics engineer. We should understand very clear all the concept about the automation things, etc. So I assure that in this particular forum, our students hereafter definitely we are developing our students, and our learning students are preparing for learning, not only for studying. That is skill enhancing. So we clearly tell them assure that particular time today. And also you are explained very question and answer session in very clear manner, like softwares, like recommendation for PLC and HMIs, then internship opportunities, virtual internships, then the criterions required for the automation process, like hold, pick and place, imaging testing, communicate your module test, and UP units per our target. So likewise, lot of parameters it is involved for this automation purpose. Then robot company you are also told, then robotic languages and coding like C++, Python also can do a robotic language. So these are very interesting and very nice session. And higher studies also are recommended for our students. So very good information, very interactive session. Thank you so much, Mr. Ramanathan Annamalai. We are very much welcome to our institute in physical mode after Corona, that COVID-19. We are welcoming you for your institute, for our institute at K.S.Rangasamy College of Technology, Tiruchengodu, Tamil Nadu. Thank you once again, Mr. Ramanathan Annamalai. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Zo. Special thanks to our today's research position for the readily acceptance to chair the session. Thank you everyone for an active participation. Kind attention to dear participants. Day 3 session feedback and attendance link will be posted through WhatsApp group. For getting e-certificate, you have to fill it. The link will remain open only for 1 hour after completion of the session. Dear participants, day 4 session will start sharply on tomorrow evening by 5 p.m. Day 4 of international webinar is on the topic robots powered with artificial intelligence to meet e-commerce demand, talked by Mr. M. Kalaivanan, Senior Industrial Engineer, XPO Logistics, Baltimore, Maryland, USA. For day 4, from 4:40 p.m. onwards, we start to append the participants through virtual mode so that we start our tomorrow session sharply by 5 p.m. Once again, I thank all the attendees for a pleasant listening. Now today, day 3 session of international webinar on cutting edge technologies in robotics